Welcome to Spurs Kings TV. It is Monday. It's time for Ashmatic Analysis. Referees are the reason we're going down, yeah? Oh, no. Don Goodman is the reason why we're going down. Even though you can mute him, he's the reason we're going down.
You know what? Listen, I think we knew at West Ham when West Ham went up 4-0. We both looked at each other and we said, "Brother, it's dark." I couldn't believe it. You know what? If it was like 1-0, 2-0. By the way, big up to the chat. Big up to the man them that are in there from early, man. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe. We're in this together. No matter what your views are, no matter what you're thinking at the moment, we're all in this together. And wow, woo, yeah, like nothing for me outside of Spurs are going right for us. Big up to the chat because they've already said it. Leeds, like Leeds.
Who would their rivals, bro?
Bro, who would have guessed it? Who would have thought they would come away with a win at Old Trafford? And Man United have been on form, but listen,
Man United went, fuck you, lot with the Europa League, bro.
That's basically, they're still hurting over that. Do you know what I'm saying? They're still hurting. They're like, you know what? Bun you, man. Do you know what I'm saying? They're ready. They got nothing to play for, really. They're in the Champions League. They're done. But yeah, for us, it's not looking good, bro.
From a Super Saturday to Survival Sunday.
We don't deal with the pressure very well. So yeah, this is real dark right now.
Speaking of dark times.
I bring the light. I bring the light.
Try your best.
Try my best. Yeah. Leeds won, and like I was saying to Marlon backstage, there's a friend of mine who turned around to me. He's a Leeds fan. Said, hopefully United might do you a favour. And my exact words to him is, if Leeds go to Old Trafford and beat United, Spurs are down. That's the footballing gods. Like, even watching the match, if, say, Richarlison or Solanke had taken that shot and it got deflected, the ball would have went up, hit the crossbar, hit the post, roll along the line, hit the other post, and go back into the Sunderland keeper's arms. But because it's against Spurs, it goes in. It's just... and the thing is, like, even after they scored, there was 1 ounce of me that thought Spurs would get a draw or even score or even get a clear chance. There was nothing that I saw that said that was going to happen. Not even test the keeper, not even hit the post. You know, like, the football in mythology is that a team will get one clear chance where it comes off the bar or the keeper makes a great save. That wasn't happening. And I'm thinking, yeah, these players are just gone. Brighton up next. Then you have Wolves, Burnley. Yeah, I think it's out of Spurs' hands now. And even if they try to keep it to maybe West Ham versus Arsenal, that'll be an interesting game for all the weird reasons. But even then, I think these players just don't have what it takes to know what to do to fight, and they just shell up. So the players that will leave, but I do think that Spurs actually have a squad that's capable of championship. Whether they can play as a team, different kettle fish or what. But yeah, Zerbi has seen it.
I'm not sure about injury record. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the Zerbi has seen it. Frank has seen it. Tudor's seen it. Even before that, Angie's seen it. And again, it's something I said to Marlon. It's on the training pitch. These guys are world class. They are brilliant. They're passing the ball. They're talking to each other. They're doing great. As soon as they cross that fucking line, it disappears. They forget how to play football. You know, it's that old phrase in I watch the UFC, or if you watch the MMA or even boxing, every boxer has a game plan until he gets punched in the face. As soon as Spurs get punched in the face, those players, they just go, nope, flat line. I mean, Richarlison, he's passing it back to the goalkeeper. That's like,
hold on, bring on the guest, because I'll guess long. All right, you'll get your time to shine. Don't you worry.
Speaking of guests, you know what? Both our guests tonight, I don't know what they're going to do if we get relegated. Are they going to be invited onto big channels anymore? So let's bring out the main men themselves. But thank you.
My brothers, Oren, I hear you, Marlon, Ash. I like to say that this is part of my farewell tour. Marlon and Ash and Oren, I haven't had the opportunity to say this to you guys into your faces, but I appreciate you, man. Like what you've been. I genuinely see you brothers as family to me. You're always showing love, always reaching out, always thank you for bringing me as part of the family. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I've already started my applications in Thailand. There's a high possibility that I am gonna get that English teacher role, and it's in a remote part of Phuket. So whether you can WhatsApp me, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they'll.
You just need to, you'll go away and just become a monk. Forget about sports. Forget about football. Forget about everything. You are you're unknown. You're not a Spurs fan. They don't know who you are, so they can't take the piss. So you can just forget.
I'm out there just doing Shaolin. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get one with nature. And you know, I'm kind of looking. Weirdly, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Just get away. It's relief.
Oh, let's bring out the last man. Let's bring him out. Let's see if this works. George.
George.
What's good, boys, man? What's good? It's good to be here. I can't lie, man. You guys all got smiles on your faces, are happy. Like I'm fuming, man. I can't even lie. Like I'm not happy at all, man. I ain't even. Like, I'm not in a good place right now. I'm really not in a good place right now, man. It's once in a lifetime. You know when you like, I'm sure you guys all play Warzone before. You ever jumped in Warzone and you're just midair and you're just getting shot like constantly in the midair? You're like, yo, I can't even land. I can't even land to get in the game. That's how I feel right now, man. I can't even get in the game. And like you said, Marlon, man, it's I'm like Deji, man. It's a farewell tour at this point, isn't it? Because next season there ain't gonna be no more Saeed TV, no more the Football Terrace. Maybe never a foul appearance. They might call us up every now and then just to,
for the championship review.
You know, just for some like what do they call them? Them icon performances. You just come back and you're doing like testimonies. Me and Deji gonna be doing some testimonial performances and that. But yeah, man, it's tough times right now.
Well, one of my bedrooms told me, Dej, don't put all your eggs in one basket with this YouTube game. And I thank God for that advice, because had I just said, you know, bun my day job, I'm just going to focus on YouTube. Well, I did not say anymore. You know them ones. But can I just let off for 30 seconds? Sorry.
You can start. You can do what you like.
I just want to say, because I am fuming.
We all are.
We, the Spurs fans, we on this panel, we don't deserve this, first and foremost.
I have to disagree with you with that.
But our club deserves
Who
this.
deserves it, Marlon? Wait. Who deserves that, Marlon? No, because he just said he has to. We need to stop right there.
Yep.
Who deserves it, Marlon? Who are you trying to say deserves this?
We as a fan base, we keep like this has been said a lot.
Not
and
me.
I don't know about Enoch deserve it. We don't. But we've seen this as a fan base coming for 5 years, right? We have seen it. We all said
we can't say we've seen it.
We've seen it coming. We have seen it coming. A lot of us have said, that Enoch are a problem if certain things happen, but we've all sat on our hands and done nothing about it. And this includes me, okay? Includes me too. We've done nothing about it, and we've got to a point where we finished 17th last year. And we still did nothing about it. As a fan base, we haven't.
What could we do?
So, when the protest happened, only 3,000 turned up. We've got 60,000 seat stadium. We could have done something more. We could have made this board. If this was Liverpool or Arsenal or whoever,
Everton.
You've seen the pressure they put on their board. Even Everton. We haven't done that.
Do you know what the problem is, though, Marlon? Do you know what the problem is, though? It's because there's too many fans out there that tell fans like me and Deji we're entitled. No, because they would tell fans like me and Deji, oh, you're entitled. Your standards are too high. You think you're a Champions League club. We're not a Champions League club. You've got
Yeah.
older fans telling us that that's what we're not what we're supposed to be. So they settle for this mediocrity, settle for being a mid-table club, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
But and this is what I'm saying. And when people like, I really thought, because at first I was in that camp, but I started to think about it, like what, like as you said, we've been so against each other in these last 4 or 5 years. We haven't stuck together in any situation. And the problem's always been is that we'll go, we don't deserve it. But when you actually sit back and look at it, you have to sit there and go, but we literally sat on our hands, most of us, and just watched this.
Can I add to that, if you don't mind, as well?
Yeah.
I fully agree with you, but also I would like to also say for all those Tottenham fans, and George is right, who were shaking their bum for a trophy. I remember Tottenham fans saying they will take 17th for a trophy, and me and George, we were fighting, saying, "Nah, we are top 4, we are top 3, we should be going for Champions League." I was here repping Pochettino, saying, "Look, what Pochettino did was a great job because at least we were respected." People would throw it back in my face. 5 years of Pochettino, what did we win? Well, we won a trophy, and we're going down. And I asked a question the other day to someone, and I would like to: would you give the Europa League back if it meant we'd stay up this season? Why is that a difficult question?
Nah, Deji. I'll be so real. We have to be honest here. Europa League, that goes down in history. Regardless, 40, 50 years, a Europa League wins something. Relegation does too, but Europa League, that's silverware. I'm not taking away no silverware. I'm not taking away silverware for shit.
So is that my brother Pipes? Because I feel like I'm in a WhatsApp group with Pipes. If that is the Pipes that's in that WhatsApp group, Pipes, you are a legend. Enough respect, because you've been calling it from about 4 or 5. I've been in that WhatsApp group at least 3-4 years. You've been calling it for 3-4 years. I listen to you daily because you post daily, and yeah, man, tell us what it is. But I blame for me personally. Let me just tell you where I stand. I will happily give back the Europa League for Premier League status next season. I'm just putting it out there, but let's continue.
Interesting. Anyone else want to chime in? Because this is like this.
I just asked the question.
We've got a free fall now.
Just answer the question. Yeah.
Well, good evening, fellas. Bless up, Deji. Respect. Yeah, I can only echo. If you said to me 12 months ago, because I'm an old git, innit? I'm a dinosaur. Yeah. So I've seen Spurs win the UEFA Cup. So I don't really put it at the heights I would say some of the younger fans do. So if you said to me 12 months ago, if we won the Europa League at the expense of our Premier League position, I said, nah, mate, you can keep your Europa League. You can keep your Europa League, because relegation, quite frankly, is catastrophe for this football club. You know what I mean? And I kind of just about caught Marlon's diatribe about the fans, and I 100% agree with you, Marlon. This fan base.
I've had to reflect. I've even and this is the thing. I've included me in this. I'm not saying I'm not part of it. I am part of the problem.
But you're spot on what you're saying. We have the most passive, tolerant, easily pleased set of fans in football, particularly as fans of a big club. Yeah, as Marlon correctly stated, and I've been to 3 or 4 of these protests. Ash, I'll back you up at one of the protests. Yeah, and they've literally been attended. I even went to protests at the training Spurs Lodge. They were attended by 3 men and a dog. The biggest protest we got, which was about 2,000, and we all jumped up and down about it. And you're actually, like you said, you've got a 60,000 seater stadium, and we're getting gassed because 2,000 people turn up to protest. Yeah, and yet they'll turn round and they want to get the bunting out and flares out and street parades for a game against Nottingham Forest. Where was this energy to drive this board out? We had a certain set of fans way back in the day who drove Alan Sugar out. Where's that energy gone? So you fast forward to 2026 now, and we have enabled, and I've said it countless times on Twitter, we have the football club we deserve. Because we're easily satisfied, we're easily pleased. We've had it on this channel. You got people want to big up Archie Gray. You got people want to big up Tell. You got people want to big up Papa Sarr. These are shit players.
Yeah.
I'm even going to have to go after you, Orin, because me and you had a set too about Solanke.
I can't believe you're going for the 19-year-olds. It's crazy. It's crazy. Going for the young players is nasty work.
Peps,
I've just called that Gray as an example. But
Gray's been one of our best players in a bad time. He's 19 years old. What more do you expect of him? He's a championship player.
Players. What's he demonstrated, George? What's he demonstrated really?
What I've kept saying, and I will keep on saying, is where it's easy to criticize these players, and rightfully so, but it's not like Spurs are been a team for 2 years that's been on their confidence, protests, all that. So when these players are in confidence, we can see what they can do. Nobody, they're human beings. Nobody in this world can perform good when they have no confidence. When you have no confidence, a 5-yard pass becomes a 10-yard pass. A 2-yard sprint becomes a 10-yard sprint in the mindsets. And that's what we've seen. We've seen over and over again. The fans, I understand where you're saying, but the fans did out in the right intentions. The fans against Nottingham Forest said, right, we have a choice. We can either boo this team, which we have done pretty much all season, rightfully so, or we can get behind them. And the players let them down. So you're talking about players who mentally are tired, especially towards the end of the season. They're mentally tired. They don't know what to do. Constantly hearing rumors that Ramirez is going to go, Van de Ven wants to leave. So I've said this like before in the stream, is that the mental effect of today's, how it affects players through social media plays a big thing. And if to go against the noisy neighbours, Arsenal, look what they're doing. All of a sudden, Arsenal fans are saying Declan Rice is shit. Gyökeres is shit. So basically, fans are quick to destroy players and then expect those players to try and rise up. It's a different mindset. So yeah, I've never disagreed with any Spurs fan in such a way, but like we can all sit on this stream and say Spurs are shit, but we're just repeating it. Everyone's saying that. The media's saying that. So when fans say Archie Gray or Till or even Solanke, it's trying to find that one bit of positive in otherwise 2 shit seasons. Simple as that.
And the thing, just to build off the back of that real quick, yeah, when you talk about why we had to change the mindset of, instead of booing these players, starting to get behind them, because we know, let's be honest, these players are mentally weak. We've known this for a while. A lot of these players, they bend, they fold. As soon as they get one goal down, as soon as we had that deflected goal, you see everyone's face. They're like, they're giving up at that point because they know, it's happened again. We've conceded, and their confidence drops. We know these players don't respond. We're not Real Madrid. You don't start booing and the players like, fuck me. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my spot here. Like, then they start fixing up. We're not that club. We're a club, but you're going to have to get behind the players. You're going to have to back these players, whether they're playing shit or not, to try and get them something out of them right now. Because like Oren said, it is embarrassing. You are right. I'm with you, Pipes. It is embarrassing that we have to get that was pretty much a parade for a relegation battle. But that's where we're at right now as a club, but we have to do that for these players because they're so mentally fragile. There's so many young players in this squad. Like I said, we're talking about Archie Gray and Tell, players that, let's be honest, no top club, no big club should be relying on 19 and 20-year-olds to get you out of this position. But this is where we're left at because, let's be honest, there's like the medical department's failing us. The medical department's failing us as a club and has been for 5 or 6 years. But these are things that we can't talk about as football fans because it's just an excuse. It's just something that we got to get on with. But that's one of a huge problem the way we're at now. Like, we can't sit here and ignore that any club where you have injuries to all of your best players consistently for 2 years. consistently. That's unheard of. That's where we're at right now. It's a lot of bad things that are just falling into this situation. I don't think it's as easy as just like blaming it on one thing. And like Oren said, it is just the little 1%ers. Even when we're blaming players, say Solanke's been shit. He has been. There's no doubt about it. But is Solanke the problem? No. Like everyone's the problem. Everything's the problem.
Does anyone look at De Zerbi? Obviously, it was his first game. Does anyone look at his lineup? Because he was the one that decided to start Archie Gray. He was the one that he wanted to start Bergvall. Does anyone look at him for his formation and his not formation, his lineup? Has anyone criticized De Zerbi for the lineup?
I've got to say, Ash, because I did catch your diatribe regarding De Zerbi last week. I didn't see all of it, but I saw some of it. And to answer your question, when I saw his lineup yesterday, if Tudor had selected those players, if Frank had selected those players, we would have thrown bows and arrows at both of them, rightly so. So De Zerbi don't escape judgment. When I saw that he left out Xavi, I was horrified. Yeah, because we have a team that has zero creativity. There's no creativity in our team. It's a team of runners. And a lot of them just run aimlessly. They don't even run with any purpose. So for him, and you're looking at the outset that Xavi would be a De Zerbi type player. So to see that he leaves out Xavi, he picks a midfield of Gray, Bergvall, and Connor can't pass bloody wind Gallagher. I was horrified, mate. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This lineup just doesn't thrill me at all.
But there's a big but. There's a big but to this, because I know a lot of people are looking at the lineup sideways. But if Solanke doesn't hit it straight at the keeper and Richarlison doesn't hit a tame shot, the lineup wouldn't have been the problem. It's the fact we just couldn't finish when we got the chances yesterday.
Do you think the lineup not the problem? Because if we had better players in those positions, like Toe, who's a better ball striker, like Xavi, who's a better ball striker to create, and we would have had better chances. Like that's
but then when they came on, okay, admittedly it was later on. Admittedly, I would say he should have made the subs a lot earlier with those, and he brought on Tell a lot earlier. But I don't think what's Tell really shown us regarding ball striking and all that in the last few games. We haven't put the ball in the back in there, so we can't sit there and say. And Xavi in the Premier League has been, if we're being completely honest, substandard.
A lot, but we know Bergvall's been, and I'm a huge fan of Bergvall.
Yeah,
but he's
Bergvall's
been 4
been
in the
injured.
10.
Yeah.
He's been 4 in the 10. He's not number 10. Playing him in the 10 was a bad decision.
The problem that De Zerbi had, and he's open, and this is what Tudor probably had as well. And these players are looking good in training. They're going across that white line, and it's just completely going tits up for him.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest problem, because he's had two.
But surely, Marlon, though, to give yourself a sense of
Mandem,
you've got to play.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Deji's frozen.
To give yourself any semblance of
Spurs defense.
He's frozen? Am I frozen?
No.
Deji.
Okay. To give yourself any semblance of a chance, you've got to play the only bit of creativity that we have in the squad. You must play him. Xavi must play.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
The only player we have.
But then that's 3 managers now, not 1. This is 3 managers that won't play him. Do
we think? You know, when we've heard managers say that there's players that if they don't want to play, they won't play. Do we think Xavi's part of that? Because that's what it simply could be. Maybe Xavi's just not showing the desire.
To be fair, George, there is talk whether this is substantiated or not, that he's one of the players that is looking for the exit if we get relegated.
He probably will be, though.
But even with that being said, as a manager, you don't cut your nose to spite your face. You've got to play.
I think Zerbi looked at the 3 midfield at Sunderland and saw these are big guys, and he thought that maybe Xavi would just be pushed around. If you look at Bergvall and if you look at Xavi, Bergvall is tall and he looks strong. So I think when Zerbi's playing Bergvall, he's thinking, right, at least he's going to give me that physical presence in the middle. And then when it didn't happen, it was, what am I going to do now? when Xavi came on, even though he only had 10 minutes, he showed what a number 10 can do, and it'll be no surprise if he starts again. So I think what's happened with these managers is that they look at Xavi and think, right, you are not strong enough. They're not trusting him, and it's physical, it's this, and this. Whereas I think, like, again, what's happened with Spurs all season is that when it's Frank, whether it's Tudor, it's always a few players who let that team down. They just don't perform, and it just cycles, and it affects the whole team. And I think yesterday, for example, I thought that because Bergville didn't know where he needed to be, and every time he did get the ball, he would lose it. It left Gray and Connor like, we don't know where to pass, because they played the two pivots. And defensively, structurally, Spurs weren't that bad. It was a deflected goal. It wasn't like Sunderland was ripping Spurs apart. So in that context, it works. It was the attacking. As soon as Gray or Conor looked up for that number 10, if Xavi would have been there, he would have been finding space. I looked at Bergville, and Bergville was just dandering about the place. Like you said, running aimlessly. Didn't know where he was, lost the ball a couple of times. So I think, like, it's a big learning lesson. And Zerbi has to now play Xavi at number 10. There's nothing else he can do.
But Oren, do you know what bothers me though? He said he watched a lot of games towards the end. He would have seen in a lot of those games whenever Bergvall played in the 10, it was the exact same thing. And that's my problem. Like, we saw these as fans. Bergvall's not a 10. He's a player that you drop him a little bit deeper. He's tenacious. He'll carry the ball from deep, but he's not going to play the final ball. Why did he put him in the 10? It was a bad choice. Like, and I rate this, but I'm saying it was a bad choice. I'm with Pipes, man. You have to.
Yeah, it was a bad choice. I'm just trying to justify why he did it.
I kind of the kind of decision of De Zerbi for me, it kind of made sense, to be honest with you. When you look at Sunderland, you look at them. One of the things that they have is that they have a bit of physicality and a bit of grit. And the one thing we know about Xavi Simons, when the going gets rough and they're physical, brother goes missing. The same for Matthias Tell. So this idea that these men would have started and they would have done something against Sunderland is a myth. These men are weak. They need to go to the gym. I think, a bit like when we had Modric and a bit like when we had Bell, I think Xavi Simons, 6 months in the gym, that's a player. But at the moment, his physicality, he can't handle the Prem. Neither can Tell. Tell needs to hench up as well. So they weren't going to. But why he started with Bergvall? Because at least he's a bit more physical. He can ride a few challenges a lot better than them, man. That's the reason why. If them man could ride challenges, they would have started.
But Deji, surely, but then you put the enforcer Polina alongside a Xavi. You see what I'm saying? I'm hearing about this physicality argument, and I'm not even 100% convinced that Bergvall is as physical as everyone thinks.
No, I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying when manager sees him in training, they think that he is. That's what Marlon said. When we see them in training, we saw, like, he's talking to Bergvall, he's talking to him, he has his arms around him, he's giving a long conversation with him. Yeah. Bergvall crosses a line and everything goes out the window. And I said behind the backstage, if you all watch MMA or boxing, every boxer has a game plan. Get punched in the face, that goes out the window. That's what happens with these players. Some of these players, when they face pressure and difficulty, they just wince up and they stop playing, and it just ripples through the whole team.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, Xavi has not ripped it up this season, but he's still the only player we have who's capable of playing a forward pass or putting a man through. You have to remember, we got 3 pretty substandard strikers. Yeah, they need bullets. As poor as they are, they need to be fed bullets. And Xavi is still the only one we have who's capable of possibly feeding a Solanke or a Richie or a Moani.
The only game that I've seen Xavi feed the bullets, as it were, was when he came on in the second half.
He's got 3 Champions League man of the matches. What are you on about, Deji?
Bro, stop that.
No, don't do that, Deji. He's got 3 Champions League man of the matches this season. He's had more than one only game. He's had quite a few good games.
I'm going to warn you this evening. We're not going to if it means we're going to fall out over our club, we're going to fall out, bro. Don't chat rubbish. You're not going to include his performance against Copenhagen as a bro.
I said free. I said free. I didn't say one.
Bro, do you get what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to do that, bro.
Atletico Madrid, no, Deji.
We're parking the Champions League, yeah.
Atletico Madrid. Can we include that?
Dortmund.
Yeah, he plays
Thing
well.
is,
Atletico Madrid, that's the only one.
No,
Yeah,
Xavi, you know what it is, I'm with you with the physicality in it. I feel like he has struggled a bit, but even so, I'm just like Pipe said, you have to play your players, especially when you want the De Zerbi system. I feel like in that game we looked a little bit ball. You need your best on the ball players because the technical floor on that team was poor, man. Like Conor Gallagher.
Okay, I mean,
Conor Gallagher, man. He's just said the
as I
better.
said, he
innit?
can't
The
pass.
less said, the better.
Ash, what did I say 2-3 years ago about Conor Gallagher?
I mean, and we're giving this guy 200 bags a week.
He needs to be in a functional team, though. That's the problem, isn't it?
that's
a problem.
like you're all like the thing is everyone. There's no denying it. Like we are seeing what's happening in the pitch, and the one thing that I will say, you know, I've said it before that these players, you know, when they're underconfident, like before when players were under confidence, there was a Harry Kane to step up, bang one in. There was a Son Heung-min to bang one in. There was always someone. Ericsson would bang one in. Dele Alli. Spurs have none of that. There is absolutely no players that can do something magical to uplift that team. And when you look at when you're playing as a shell and when you're trying to play safe, you're not going to do anything that makes the fans go, you're great. You're going to do the basics. And that's what we're seeing from Conor Gallagher. He's came to a club, hasn't won a game. Two managers have been sacked. Two managers have been sacked. So he's a new start and everything is looking at him. And last stream I said it wouldn't surprise me if I played Conor Gallagher and Archie Gray. But I stick by this. Conor Gallagher, we know what he's like. He's not there to feed the ball or make passes. He's there to do the simple things and have the energy. But if you don't have a creative player to pass, which I think Zerbi thought that Bergville can fit, and Bergville let him down, you have to look at it and think that maybe sometimes these managers believe in players and those players let them down, and it's like, right, you've let us down. No matter how many training, no matter what, that's what separates good players from not
Archie
good
Gray
players.
and Bergvall physically, Bergvall and Archie Gray physically, asking them to run the midfield in a relegation scrap, for me, with the level of experience that they have, is nonsensical. It's nonsensical.
Yeah, but that's not deserved.
Do you know what? And do you know what? When we had the first sign of that, you remember was it second game of the season or first game of the season against Burnley? When Burnley run our midfield, both of them to start. I think we have Saar, Bergvall, and Gray in the midfield.
Yeah, all three.
And they got run ragged by
ragged.
Bournemouth
And that was the first sign that you don't play all three of them, even two of them together in the midfield, especially in one in the 10.
Played the next game.
It was
a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old. That's essentially what you've done. And all right, let's take that ages out of it. You're looking at players with a combined experience of maybe 2-3 years, 4 years tops. Do you know what I mean? In a non-functional team as well. When you need that midfield is the most important part of any football team. And I say out of West Ham, I'd say out of Leeds, I'd say out of Forest. Yeah, we've got the worst midfield, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So to start those two with that, a lack of physicality, a lack of experience, and a lack of, because look, we need players that are going to.
Who would you have started though? Who would you have started in the midfield? Honestly, because I don't think there's any combination of midfield that would have got a result yesterday.
No, you're right, and I think looking at it, that forward line really did hinder us because I thought
Paulinho has to start, and I know he's not good on the ball, but he has to start.
For me, he came on and his passing.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, because because basically Sunderland had given us the ball, and that was too late. It was too late then. With Paulinho, you don't bring on Paulinho when Sunderland have gone, we're 1-0 up, have the ball, because Paulinho's just not passing. We all know that, but that goal is caused by them players in the middle just not 100%. Being there, and that's where Paulinho.
I agree.
And that's the problem.
I don't think that goal is scored if Paulinho is on the pitch.
So this is where Paulinho and I don't know if it was Jules that said it. Paulinho and Xavi have to be the two, because you've got the one that's going to be on the ball that can't really defend, and then you've got the one guy who just needs to give it to Xavi every time. The other midfielder can be whoever it wants to be at this present moment, but you have to play, if you're going to play both of them, you have to kind of just go with it, because there's no way you can leave Gray. Like, everyone's been banging on about how good Gray's been, but that goal is why I have problems with Gray.
All right, guys, is there an unconscious bias that Spurs are going to get, like officials and other teams kind of want Spurs to get relegated because there is this whole referee chat, like they're trying to force us down and we're getting the bad decisions are going against us. All the referees, they're not paying for us.
Can I give a quick view if you don't mind? I feel like when you're in the relegation zone, you kind of make your own luck. It's just like when you're running late for work and then you're trying to speed. That's when all the cars seem like they're going slow. You know what I'm saying? And when you've got time on your hands, everything, people are moving out of the way for you. I feel like that's what.
Like it's a red light. There's no green. There's no amber. It's just red.
You know what I'm saying? Like all the madness. Now there's delays. Now the train is staying longer at a station. I had it the other day. I was running late, and on the Jubilee line, the next stop, Westminster, it just held. Like, someone might be coming.
No consideration, Deji, eh? Suicide people.
It's crazy. So we made our own luck. And I've been saying it from early that if you're in the bottom half, this is what happens when you're in the bottom. It's happened to other people, other teams in the bottom. When you're down there, you don't get the rub of the green. And it's just even more apparent because we're down there and we're seeing it. We've always had decisions go against us. But now these decisions are sending us down, whereas before it was just losing points.
We're getting nothing though. Not one penalty all season.
I think though, just to be quick, I think there is an argument though to be had that I think a mixture of officials, other clubs. Listen, Tottenham being relegated is a massive, massive story. It's a massive story from a media point of view. It's a massive story for the Premier League point of view, to emphasize how competitive the league is. For a massive club like Tottenham to be relegated. So I believe there is an argument that the officials now seem to be. I mean, let's be honest. The game yesterday, the refereeing was shocking. Every 50-50 was going against us. I don't care what anybody wants to say. The penalty, it may have been soft, but there wasn't enough clear and obvious evidence for it to be overturned. The referee's given it should have been allowed. Yeah. Bobbery, he's elbowed Porro in the face.
Yeah.
Straight red.
And the tackle, even the tackle before on Romero, that's a yellow at least.
Right. So I don't think it's too tin hatty or conspiracy theorists to think that, you know what, the officials may be under instructions to relegate the club. As ridiculous as it sounds, but at the same time, Des, you're right. You make your own luck in this, and we shouldn't be in this position.
Yeah. 100.
I'm going to show it slowly. Obviously, they gave it for the one from the guy from behind, not the guy that was sliding in, right?
Yeah, the referee originally said the knee.
Then the guy behind him touched the ball first.
Yeah, with the knee, but he touched the ball first. So technically, it's a right call.
And Moani is going down before the guy.
Yeah, and Moani asks for a corner, doesn't ask for a penalty, which was weird though because it was a drop ball, and you're like, well, if it wasn't a foul,
it should have been a corner.
It should have been a corner.
That's so strange, really strange.
Right? So we're like, why is it a drop ball? And I think it's. I mean, you can look at it slow motion. It just wasn't that, but like, you have to make your own luck. And Spurs aren't doing that. They're not even making their own luck. They're not giving a. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, again, he basically what he did. What would he call the Sunderland striker?
Robbie.
Yeah, he just played it. That's just an old-fashioned striker going right. I'll do this. I'll do that. Get pushed over, book him because he got booked as well. And even the push he did against Romero, he pushed Romero into thing. Doesn't get called. But yeah, it's.
But this is where I agree with Deji. When things are going against you, everything is going against you.
Yeah.
And I look at it like this: no matter all the referee decisions yesterday, we had 2 chances in that first half to put it in the back of the net, and we still didn't do our job. If we're not doing our jobs of putting in the ball, same against Forest as well. If we're not putting the ball in the back of the net, it doesn't matter what decisions we're getting.
I'll be real. I don't think. No, I don't think any of those are reds or anything. I think Bobby just what he done. He, like he said, he played like an old school striker. He rattled our players. He was doing what Charleston does to other teams essentially a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And, you know, that one I would really. The other ones were just, you know, it's part of the game. But that should have been a second yellow card.
But George,
he wasn't playing football. That's probably Lashley right there.
Yeah. But does the panel not agree though? If Bobbery had Romero plastered across the back of his shirt and he done that elbow, the referee would have broken his fingers in his haste to get the red card out. Yes or no?
And to be honest, and just to add, sorry, my brothers, just to add, George, I kind of hear what George is saying and I hear what Paps is saying. My main issue is if that is going to be the yardstick, then fine. The problem that I've seen with Spurs is the inconsistencies always seem to go against Spurs. For example, we had the situation where Moani scores against Arsenal.
Exactly.
He pushed the defender. Fulham clearly pushed Dragoshin or whoever it was. That's a goal. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. That sort of thing. Romero's been sent off for that. We've had less that arm. We've seen players sent off for softer elbows to the face. So it doesn't matter what your opinion is. Can someone be sent off for that motion that Robbery did? The answer is yes. That's the bottom line. Could he have received a yellow for the tackle on Romero? Because the same tackle Romero did on Bobbery, Romero got a yellow for. Bobbery hadn't been booked before that point, and he's done the elbow. And he did the tackle on Romero at least. So my thing is just be consistent. If you're consistent, Bobbery goes off. It's as simple as. And if you're consistent, we get a second goal against Arsenal. If we're consistent, maybe Fulham don't get a goal. That's what I'm saying.
But I think for me, this whole referee thing, I don't really like it because, and I'm just talking about the Sunderland game in isolation. I always think, or I judge a game on like the opportunities that we had. Do you know what I'm saying? How many opportunities did we create? Did we actually threaten the goal? And did we think, oh, we were unlucky, we hit the post, we make the goalkeeper work, or it went over the bar, or, you know, they defended well, we dominated, you know, the territory. Like, I hate that territory word, but do you know what I'm saying? We put pressure on
What about that chance we would have had, though, Ash, though? That so-called handball on Moani. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a clear. He would have been through on goal.
Normally, they let it play out and then they pull it back in it. Normally, they let it play out and then they blow the whistle and then they let it play. But for whatever reason, they just blew the whistle straight away.
We didn't even get a replay. There was no handball. They didn't replay it.
But like generally, I don't know what you lot thought of the game, because I heard a lot of fans saying, "Raw, you know what? I thought we played all right and this, that." And I said, "Raw." Like, I thought the second half for me, I didn't see anything.
We could have been playing today. We were not scoring a goal. There's nothing. The team are just showing nothing. Wherever you look, be it West Ham, Forest, Leeds, all of these clubs around us, they're showing so much more than we're showing. We're not showing anything. No creativity, no intensity, no heart, no desire. No, we're not showing anything when you compare us to the teams around us. So we really are the architects of our own downfall. It's actually, when you think about it, it's pretty pathetic. We haven't won a football match since December the 28th.
But yeah. But can I just add to that, Pipes, though? The reason why, and I said it today to someone earlier, what we've done is we've bought luxury players. So these, like someone said, I think it was you, Marlon, or George, that said that these are not bad players. It's just that these are not fighters. So if Bergvall, Archie Gray, they're in a Brighton or they're in a Man United, these men will be performing. They can perform when they're not under pressure. What we don't have is players cut out for this sort of dogfight. We don't have a Murillo. We don't have a Bobbery. We don't have like a Timber. We don't have like a Belabor. We don't have anybody that don't mind getting stuck in and dirty. I look at Solanke, he's soft. Matthias Tell, soft. Mwani, soft. Archie Gray, soft. Bergvall, soft. Xavi Simmons, soft. The whole team's soft. Do you get what I'm saying? So as much as I want to blame the players, they ain't got the minerals for this.
See, the thing is, as well, what has been lost in all this, and yeah, rightfully so, is that Spurs also have a very young team. I think the oldest player is Joe Polina, and he's what, 30?
He's not soft. Richarlison's not soft either. So Richarlison should be up top, number 9. Really.
No, I'm saying when it comes to like,
but I'm just saying in terms of relegation fight. I'm just going to Deji's point, not your point.
Yeah.
Like Paulinho, he's going to get his hands dirty. He's going to get dogged. He's going to get nasty. He's going to be winning those challenges. And then Richarlison in the 9, as much as he can't control a ball for love or money, he's going to be running like a headless chicken, scrapping it out, trying to get on the end of things. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I see Richarlison as. More of a box threat than Solanke. Solanke first touch is good, but then after that, does he have the hunger and desire? Does he have the fight, the attitude to kind of get in those dangerous areas?
Richie, as limited as he is, and I've been one of his biggest critics, he's the draft pick now at the forward line for me because of his character. You feel he may offer something in terms of a little bit of fight. Like I said, Solanke and MC Deadfoot, as I call him, they offer nothing.
Yeah, it's true, bro. It's too pretty. They're pretty, man. Pretty boys. Yeah. Sorry, Oren, you were saying, bro.
Yeah. It's just like I think that's what we've got to take in consideration. The age, the mental age. There is no one with experience who has been there, done it before. All of this is brand new to these players. You know, even in other clubs, I can't think of a player. Even Joe Polina at Fulham, he never had to go through a relegation battle. You know, so the
only players right now that are currently playing is Conor Gallagher, relegated with West Brom. He's been through it before. Solanke's been through it with Bournemouth. And Richarlison is the only person to survive one.
Right.
The rest, there are a few others that have been relegated, but they're all injured, so I can't include them. But those are your 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And Danso, when Danso was at Southampton, they finished mid-table, so they weren't in a relegation battle.
Romero, obviously, he's pulled up with an injury.
He's gone for the rest of the season.
Right, but he's going to the World Cup.
For
all you Romero lovers, yeah, you should hold that. Honestly,
100. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, fellas, but for me, I think Christian Romero is probably not. Yeah, I would say he's the worst captain of this football club in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Worse than who? What, worse? The worst ever?
Yeah. He's been a shocking captain.
Where's the soul?
Worse than who?
Where's the soul?
Of course, worse than Sol.
What Sol did, Sol's worse than him. But for actually as a captain,
yeah, but forget the action of what Sol did. I'm talking about actual captaincy of leading a football club. Romero's been shocking. Absolutely shocking. And he's, as a defender, as a player, he is so overrated by this fan base. It's a crime. You know what I mean? I've never bought into the Romero hype. I don't care about his World Cup winning medal. I've never bought into it. Because I look at a player who, A, thinks he's better than he is, and B, the fans have lionized like he's this colossus defender. And he ain't that guy. And this season now, when we've needed some kind of leadership in our time of need and trouble, he's been missing in action. And now the news coming out today, which, let's be honest, I mean, you see him yesterday after the game with his crocodile tears. And people were actually speculating. I knew instantly he wasn't crying for Spurs. He's crying because he was thinking he's going to miss out on his World Cup. And then the news comes out today now that, of course, he's going to be injured for the rest of the season, but of course he'll be fit for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And that's basically been the story of his career at Tottenham. He's always put Argentina first. So, I can't. Good riddance to Romero. Like I said.
I'll be honest, I actually think in this moment in time, it's probably better for us to not have Romero playing.
Good luck in the champs, man.
When we're talking about a player who's actually a liability on the pitch,
100%.
his aggressiveness, his stepping out of position, when you need someone to just be calm and controlled, he's never really that guy. I'd say probably best for us without Romero. I think Enzo's probably the man to throw in there. You can rely on him. Yeah, he's probably not like your top performance, but he's someone who you know what you're going to get from him. He's not going to be silly. He's going to be a bit no nonsense. And the only thing I don't like about it is Van de Ven's now going to have to lead the back. And if we're being honest, Van de Ven's picked up a lot of Romero's traits after playing with him for the past 2 years. He's now super aggressive. He's now overzealous in the press. He's now constantly fouling players and picking up yellow cards, which wasn't a trait of his before, which we're now left with. So that's the only thing that I think won't be the best thing.
He's also
picked
up Romero's arrogance, thinking he's better than he is as well.
Yes.
But you know, I just wanted to go back to George's point earlier, where he said that we need to be celebrating and getting behind failures. And then we're talking about how Van de Ven is picking up Romero's traits. The truth of the matter is, when you really deep it with some of our players, they are sabotaging this team. Like for me, I went to that Palace game. I've never seen Van de Ven so erratic in a match before. Normally he's quite calm, but like you said, these last few months he's been picking up these bad habits, and this is not the time for you to start experimenting with a new personality. And that's what we're seeing with a lot of these men. Van de Ven, Romero, these men don't care. Did you see Romero bat an eyelid on that video you just showed earlier today? Someone said, see you in the champs. My man's thinking, I ain't going to be there. And that is the problem. And so when people are saying we need to get behind these players, no, these players need to have some self-respect. None of them care. None of them care about our club, and they're gone. And we're asking, and then we are told to get behind them for what?
Because they're the only ones who can save us from actually going down.
I've got to emphasize Deji's point though, because, and to be honest with you, it's a modern thing as well. I'm hearing and seeing within, basically describing fans, this notion that us fans need to get behind the players or be positive or. These people are elite footballers. Yeah, they have to engage us. Exactly. It's not the other way around. You think when Usain Bolt is flipping, lining up for 100 meters and winning his 9-10 gold medals, that he's looking for engagement from the fans in the stadium? He's dealing with his own personal pride. I said, you know what?
Why are you using Usain Bolt? Not Adam Jamili now, just Usain Bolt straight to the pit.
No, but it's this notion about fans. We have to, as I said earlier, we laid out the bunting. We laid out the colourful flares, the bus parade for these boys. Yeah? And what did they do? They stunk the place out and lost 3-0 at home.
No pipes though, Brighton, there's going to be another one. Do you know what I mean? And it's
no, but at the end of the day, Ash, at the end of the day, the atmosphere, of course, if the team come out, they start with the right mentality, intensity, and everything else in that stadium, the fans will respond accordingly and get behind the team. That's a given.
Exactly.
But to think that we have to suddenly magic this fake kind of pre-match hysteria, it's nonsense.
That's the thing, though. The players do good for 20 minutes and they get punched in the face. And everything goes out the window. That's like, no matter what way. They started, the team started well against Sunderland. And then something happened. I think they started... No, even before then, Sunderland start getting in the game. I think it was like I said, it's when the team are flowing. But then when one player is misplacing a ball or overhitting a cross or not doing something, it's just like, oh, come on. And it just feels like, yeah, it's that level of, there's no grinding. There's no like, right, we're going to crawl, we're going to dig, we're going to do everything. And as for Mickey van de Ven, he is calm. Yes, he was calm, sorry. But what has happened is he's been questioned whether he's committed or not. When you're trying to prove that you're committed, you're going to do silly things. And that's what he's been doing. He's been rash. He's been trying to get on the ball. He's been trying to make runs forward. He's been trying to step up and make big tackles. Like Ramiro's done it as well. And even when Tull came on, I think he came on and you're like, right, what are you going to do? I think the first thing he did was he tried to do a couple of step over, slipped. And then he just runs. He just runs aimlessly down the middle. Destiny Udogie, like, shows he can cross the ball, but then fades. So you have these group of players who, I mean, even Perro, like, he had a chance to cross the ball and he overhits it, skies it. So you have a group of players who don't have confidence. They're trying to do something. They're not being instinctive as such. And I've always said this, Spurs have bought players who are instinctive. They can't think about what to do. They just do it. When you look at the best players, they know what they're going to do. And they're not so much, they're relying on instincts. Richarlison's a perfect example. Richarlison is a poacher. He can't think. He had 2 shots to think about. Harry Kane would have looked up, saw the keeper, I'm going to bend this around you. I'm going to look up, give you the eye. Richarlison says, I'm going to just pass it to you because I've thought about it. And I'm going to try something I've never done before. And like, that's the issue with the recruitment, that Spurs have bought too many players that are working off instinct. I mean, even, yes, Solanke gets slated, but look at the goal he scored against Man City. That's a Solanke type goal. The back heel, not thinking about it, just going with it. Now, when a team is playing with confidence, it works. When they're not, then it's like, one of my big thing, for example, with Son, is that when Son didn't think, he would score. But when he was in 1-on-1, when he had time to think, he would miss.
Well, isn't it that the manager's job to kind of platform these players, like put them in the right positions, pick the right team, and give them the confidence they need to go out and win games? Isn't that like the job of the manager?
It is, but we've had but how many managers of Spurs had who try to do that?
That's a lie.
And the manager can only. Angie always said it. We can give the platform to these players, but once they cross the line, they got to be leaders themselves. They got to step up. They got to make the right decisions. Zerbi is not going to make. He's not going to go to Richarlison when hold up, stop the game. Right, Richie, what I need you to do, I needed to bend the ball around there. That's what I needed to do. Okay, let's play. These players are getting paid money. They're meant to be professional football players. They're meant to be the ones who make the right decisions. And when there's no confidence, they all make bad decisions. And that's what we're seeing constantly.
Man, can I just pick up on that and make one spanner, or at least I want to burst the myth. So earlier today, I think, George, you mentioned our injuries.
Good for you, George. What's in you today?
I'm not coming.
No, it's me and Deji haven't streamed together for a while, so I can tell he misses me.
I'm just injuries. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say who is missing that would have made Spurs better and start
Madison,
winning games. The other question is this: I'm not sure Madison and Kulusevski would have done the trick.
100%.
Where did they play? So
we know because Deji, we could fit Xavi, Madison, and Kulusevski all on the pitch at the same time. We're talking about players. What we're missing right now is players that can score goals and create little moments of magic. Madison, albeit I haven't been his biggest fan, he has that. He creates moment of magic, and that's his whole style. His whole game is moments. He gives you little bits of moments where he will score a goal or make a pass and he'll create a goal. Kulusevski, same thing. He's a bit more involved in the game and also, and yeah, he can disappear for games. We all know that. That's Kulusevski. But there's also games where he will run a whole game by himself. and create chances, get the ball and drive up the pitch. So they're two players that would make a huge difference for us right now. I think if we had them this season, we wouldn't be nowhere near this position.
Where would you play them then? So what would be the formation? If
I
we had
think
a fully fit team,
kudos for them.
who would play against results?
I think kudos for playing on a right wing instead of Moani. He beats his man, and his decision making will be better than Moani. Because Moani, for me, he's just running down blind alleys. He doesn't really do much on the ball, if that makes sense. And if he does get on the ball, does he pick up the right pass? Does he do something to affect the game? I don't think so. Not the same way that Kudos does. And Kudos also would attract 2 to 3 players towards him, which would open up spaces for other players. Do you know what I'm saying?
It would have been Paulinho, Bentancur, or Maddison. Maddison was so key to Thomas Frank's system, and it all went pear-shaped a few weeks before. You could tell because he wanted that sort. That's why they went after Gibbs White. They wanted that sort of player, and it just didn't happen. We ended up with Xavi.
Maddison's been a massive miss. I think. Listen, while he may not be top of world class, he's the only player in the squad that does what he does in terms of playmaking, in terms of and his numbers. You know, his goals and assists, they stack up. He's been a massive miss to the team. Like I said, we're a squad of runners. Yeah, we're a team of runners. We have no real technicians in the team. Maddison has been a massive miss. Kulu, I mean, I've never been convinced about Kulu as a 10, but Maddison 100% has been a massive, massive miss for the football club.
I just think what Deji's saying is like last time we under Ange, we were like, oh, when the players come back from injury,
True.
it'll be different. And then those players came back
and nothing changed. I hear that.
But Ash, let's be honest, Ange's even come out in interviews saying that they all decided not to give the Premier League a go themselves anyway. So they were checked out from a long time. So I don't think it's really fair to say
You believe that?
If Andrew said it and the players have all said it themselves, what are we to say? If the manager's sitting there saying that they all decided to focus on Europa League, the manager's instilling that mentality in them, I don't expect to see good performances. It explains why they probably didn't play well on the weekends. They didn't play with that edge.
Do you think that Ange is a genius or is he lucky?
I think he's a fool.
I'll
be honest. I think he's a fool.
I listen to Ange is out there shaking his butt. I want to trophy.
No, I'm being honest because if Andrew was smart and if he actually tried to balance, like you could have had the Europa League and still done better performance in league. If he finished about 12, wouldn't have got sacked. He probably would have.
Let's have it right. Let's have it right. Let's put this Ange myth into its proper context. Yeah, Angie, and I've said this till I'm blue in the face. Angie was responsible or is responsible for the losing culture that currently engulfs the club today. Yeah, he made it acceptable to toss off league matches week after week after week. Yeah, because for his own ego, he decided to concentrate on the Europa League. And quite frankly, him lucking out and winning the Europa League, really and truthfully, all he did was paper over the cracks.
But do you think he done that because he wasn't back in January, and as what's happened with Thomas Frank this January, where we had injured players and the board just didn't help him out, so he had to try and keep his best team for the Europa League.
Yeah, but Marlon, as I said, it was and I said it at the time, so I don't speak like it created a very dangerous. Football matches.
But what Ange has done, but because the board, and this is where I go back to the board now. Because the board have given Ange nothing, he then had to pick or choose what he was going to prioritize. And for his own ego, he went, all right, we're going to survive this, that, and the other. But the board have to take some responsibility into that, why Ange had to make that decision. Of course,
listen, the board, we know about the board. We know how complicit they are, but we still have to look at it that Ange still had £400 million to spend in his time as manager. So you can't...
but look what they spent it on. But you say that, but that summer, the only first team player he got was Solanke.
I hear you, but he turned around.
He ended up with Gray
to us fans and said he was happy with the window.
Yeah, of course, but we all know. Every manager said that. Mourinho said that. Conte said that, and then look what's happened. So we can sit there and say, yeah, he said that, but he goes, when you don't sit there and tell your employer, you know, you don't go against your employer if you want to keep your job.
I just think to answer your question quickly, that there's no justification, particularly as a manager of a big club, for tossing off your bread and butter, the league matches. There's no justification because as a manager of a big club, you should be able to compete in both competitions. You can't and maintain a semi-decent league position.
Yeah, but we didn't. But the injuries, we didn't have the squad to do it. Like we literally are finding out this year. When the injuries have happened, and we're finding out exactly this year. We literally can't compete.
Correctly stated, when the injured players came back, we continued to lose.
But by the time they came back last year, it was a case of we were in the Europa League semi-final, and we lost Kulu and Madison as well after that. So it weren't like they were coming back. What seems to be happening that everyone seems to forget, when certain players come back, we end up losing more. So the injuries are still there. And the same things happened this year. Like we had a good start when the players were there, but as soon as they started getting injured, we started to lose again. So the problem that I'm trying to face now is that you get to January where 2 windows now, where the board have had a chance to help the managers out. And this is from the same people that said last summer, we want to compete on all fronts, but yet don't give them any of the managers the squads that they need. Yes, you could sit there and say, Ange created this culture, but you have to see why did he create this culture? Because he sat there and chose that it's either Europa League or the league, because he didn't have the squad to compete in both. And the same's happening this year, with or without Ange. When you don't have the players or the squad, you're going to end up in this position. And this is what the biggest issue.
The same thing happen again next season.
If we end up with the same thing next year, even in the championship, and we end up having players get injured again, and we've got 11, 12 players out, that's it. We're finished. Arsenal. Let's just go back to Arsenal. Yes, the reason why they ended up going and building this big, massive squad was because they started to get injured players. Look, they might be they might be trying to bottle the league at the moment, but they're still sitting in second because they realised that after the last couple of seasons, they were relying on Saka and Odegaard way too much. They knew the injuries were coming, and even when they've got these injuries, it's not like they've been completely going down like we have. If you gave Arsenal 11 injuries, or you gave Manchester City 11 injuries, and it's not even, they're not going to be anywhere near the top. Look at. But they're going to suffer. We have literally suffered for 2 years.
Those clubs you just mentioned would willfully sacrifice the league matches?
But they'd have a squad. Yeah, no. But if they had to come to a choice, and they're never going to be in that situation because they don't have to come to that choice where they don't have to. The squad is big enough for them to be able to still compete on all levels.
Can I just burst everyone's bubble? I don't think he willfully lost the Premier League games. I think he just lost them. I think he won.
Yeah, but you saw the lineups he was putting out because Van der Ven and Romero didn't play together.
That was like towards the late part. But
that was from now, pretty much the last 7 games.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Up until that. But we'd beat Ipswich and Brentford after that time, like away from home. We had beat them, and then he went. And this is from now, and he just lost all of them because he realised that he wanted to keep Romero and Van der Ven for those Europa League games. He made a choice. Now, when you're playing Archie Gray, Ben Davis, Dragushin, and we've all said they're not good enough players, this is what's going to happen. We haven't won a game since January, December. And look at our squad now. It's because we just don't have anything going on in that team. So we can sit there and blame Ange, but he's not the full sole reason.
Ange said it perfectly last season. He said, just when there's light at the end of the tunnel, it turns out to be an oncoming train. Because as soon as players get injured, and
Kulu, Bergvall, Madison got injured.
The biggest issue with injuries and what you don't play a part is that it puts an emphasis, and I think the medical team, Spurs would have went to in January because Marlon absolutely right, but I think they went to the medical team and go, right, how long is Kulis going to be out for? Kulusevski was meant to be back by now. So that hasn't happened. And I don't know, like I've been supporting Spurs, for over 30 years. I do not remember how, like, players have always been injured, but I don't remember or recall so many of the top players being injured for so long. 2 weeks, maybe tops. But Kulusevski, full season. Madison, full season. Kudus gone for the season. Odegaard was just starting to heat peak. He's out for the season. Bentancur
was that when he first signed as well?
Bentancur out for the season. Even I say Bentancur, but when you don't have players to recall on, you're literally working, on
Solanke's a prime example. Didn't get injured at Bournemouth, comes here and ends up getting
4 months, and he doesn't even play, and he's still trying to play catch up. So basically, what happens is you have a bunch of players coming back who you need to get the fitness with players who are dropping a fitness. It's not going to be a good match. And the likes of one thing I've always said as well, and I've always been realist about this, is that yes, as Spurs fans, we look at the club and we think, yes, we are Spurs fans, we would want to come to the club. But we have to admit that the top players might not want to come to Spurs. Simple as that. Because they look at Man City, they look at Arsenal, and they think, I'd rather go to them, I'd rather go to Chelsea, I'd rather do this. Because those clubs have won trophies before.
Find better players. There's players around Europe.
I get it. But we can all say that's the thing as well. There's better players around Europe. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Players, just run. Don't just buy.
I get that. But those
wages.
But why is it?
Oh, you're just buying runners on low wages.
No, but
basically Enix model.
But what I'm saying is that yes, these players are players that Spurs looked at and thought, right, these are the players who want to come to the club. If say hypothetically Bergville was a star, a Yamal, almost in that category, do you really think he would have gone to Spurs? The reason why these players,
I don't think that's the problem, though. I think the problem is just that you haven't signed enough star quality players to what we used to. We used to sign players that had real star quality, and that's what we just like. The signings
3-star players. So I'm not going against you. I just want to say in the last 10 years, name 3-star.
Not in the last, but the last 10 years hasn't been that though. That's the point. I'm not being funny. That if we're going back 10 years, we didn't sign any players for 3 of those 10 years. Was it free transfer?
20 years ago. In Spurs history, when has Spurs signed a star player?
Gascoigne,
Van der Vaart was a star signing. I mean,
what?
I'm going back. I'm showing my age.
Yeah, right. So Van der Vaart.
No, but even I'm not talking.
I'm just saying. I'm not.
No, but Oren, I'm not talking. When I say star quality,
we've had a history of signing star quality players to get the fans on their seats.
Right.
I'm not talking about big money signings. I'm saying just star quality. And what we've been signing is Odegaards who didn't really show anything. And I think he's a decent, talented player, but not shown enough. Like he's not someone you should be relying upon. We signed him from Burnley. We signed a player from Bournemouth in Solanke who had one good season. Then we signed Archie Gray from Championship Leeds. Then we signed Bergvall from never even playing in the Premier League. We've signed Sarr from Stade Rennes. We've signed. You can name our whole squad. Van der Ven, cool. Van der Ven's a pretty good one.
I mean, there's been a systematic downgrading of players that we've been signing.
For a long time.
Right. The standard has just got lower and lower and lower and lower.
But what I'm saying.
And even when you think about Madison, he came from a relegated Leicester, so you weren't even like.
I like Kudus. Kudus came from a West Ham side that was mid-table. Like we're not signing players that are like had the experience with them, even the mentality of trying to compete for something, trying to aim for something higher. They don't know what it's like week in, week out, trying to play at a top club. Even like a young player, let's just say, for example, Cole Palmer, for example. You see him and you can tell he's a kid with elite mentality because he's grown up in that Man City system. You see all these Man City kids. Nico Riley comes through. You're like, why are they so good? Because they grow up with that elite mentality where they know it's must win. It's all or nothing. And we sign players that haven't had that mentality, haven't had to play at that level. So then this is where we're at right now. We have no leaders.
Yeah, we can't attract
no leaders.
Oren is saying we can't.
No, but we can, the truth of the matter is we can attract. It's just that we're not willing to pay. So, for example, I knew that maybe Solanke isn't the gunman we think he is when he's accepting wages of under 100 grand a week. that should have been alarming from there, because no top striker is taking Like I think even when we were linked with Zaha was like, I want 150 a week minimum. Do you know what I mean? Like if you can't get yourself over 100 grand at Spurs, you already know.
It's a red flag, isn't it, Deji? It's a red flag. I mean,
It's a red flag, bro.
players are paid.
I'll take that. I'll take
They're
that.
paid poorly for a reason.
Exactly. And we had opportunities. I think I had a bedroom of mine is an agent. We had an opportunity to get Mark Gay. We turned it down. One of my other bedrooms is an agent offered. Do you know the SAR player at Palace? He was offered to Spurs in the summer, and some Oliver guy turned his nose at SAR, and only for him to score the bloody pen at our ground. Like the people at the board, they're not willing to spend. They can't spot talent. And like George is saying, we're bringing in these low-level, mediocre players. We could build a Spurs team right now for 300 mil.
All right, let me ask you this then. This is a player that you like as well. Would you take a Mente from Brighton, for example?
Yes.
Mente is not obviously like the elite where we're saying, he's superstar.
Mente is better than Brennan Johnson.
But this is what I'm saying, because like obviously the argument is, we can't get these players, we can't sign these players, they won't come to Tottenham. But I'm pretty sure.
You could get Kelleher for 40 mil. Yeah, you could get the striker Igor from Brentford. You could have gone and put 40 mil on him. He's a decent striker. Sell all the current man then that we got. You can go and get that Robertson, the American guy, left back of Fulham, as cover for Udogie, or you can even start with Udogie.
Yeah, you can't get Udogie and Robertson can't be our left backs. They're both injury. He's
I hear you.
I get what you're saying, but yeah, for Robertson,
like,
not at the moment.
This thing that I've been talking about in what the Van Hecker over Romero all day long. I've been saying it all season. Get Van Hecker from Brighton. I'd also get. I
think Spurs are worried about Brighton though, because Chelsea have been burnt and we were burnt with Basuma.
Yep.
I think that's why they probably haven't.
Profiling is important because
like Marlon, like me and Marlon's, we don't agree a lot, but we have agreed.
See
you later. We have agreed on one thing, that Spurs can go in and get good players or top players, and they come to Spurs, and because that mentality dips, they dip too. Lo Celso was meant to be really good. Argentina is brilliant. Dipped. Dembele or Ndombele. Yes, mismanaged, but it's just that it's a question of, right, we get these players in, we pay them 250 grand a week, and they're like, we're at Spurs. They've never won anything.
Gallagher's might be a prime example of that right now.
What you're talking about is a culture thing, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Yes. So basically,
there's no demand.
Yeah. So basically, you have to, and that's what I can recall going back, because I remember when Spurs was a selling club. Berbatov, star player, brilliant. He wasn't bought as a star player. He became a star player.
Do you know what the link with Bruno Fernandes, who went to Manchester United but was at Sporting Lisbon? Do you think that would have happened to him as well? Like, we've seen his career, go up and up. Do you think Bruno would have been a first?
No, because we had Mourinho at the time, and that was like Mourinho was probably 2 players away from having the Spurs team he wanted, and I think he wanted the defender.
Then is null and void. Then what we just talked about, really?
No, he wanted.
No, because you had the mentality of the manager as well.
Mourinho.
You wanted skinnier,
and he was given Joe bloody what's his face?
Skinnier. Yeah,
Rodon. But he wanted Fernandes.
They got the wrong Fernandes.
So, yeah, but Fernandes and Bruno was putting himself out there that he wanted to come.
He was up for it.
But the thing is, what happened was with that whole transfer, because I remember following closely, it was all Sporting Lisbon tried to do the same thing with Pedro Porro. The fee was agreed. I think it was 65 million. All agreed. Bruno Fernandes said his goodbyes. Sporting Lisbon the night then called Tottenham Hotspur and says, we want more money. And then the deal was done, pulled out. The same thing happened with Pedro Porro. The deal was signed, and then Sporting Lisbon called Spurs up and say, no, we want more money. And Pedro Porro said, no, I've said goodbye, I'm not going back to training, and he forced it. So it's a case of like, what's happened as well is that Spurs, because of how they not spend, but yeah, it's been weird when you think about transfers. And Skinny, or yes, Jose Mourinho wanted him. I think whoever was in charge at the time selling players, they went to Milan, but Conte said no. Conte said no, you're not getting him, because Skinnier at the time was next to Bastoni, and they were like play through at the back, and Inter Milan was doing really well. And Conte went, no, you're not getting him. He put a stop to that. So a lot of players that Spurs have went for as well, teams have not wanted to make Spurs stronger. And yes, you can say splash the cash, but Spurs have splashed the cash, and the players have came and they've sold them for a loss, because, I mean, Ndombele, 60 million. How much did he go for? His contract was terminated. So and he had Jose Mourinho as well. So basically it's like, it's been a weird transition where Spurs have bought players like the Erikssons, Kane and all, but not bought Kane, of course, he came from the youth squad, but all the players that Poch had, that they all became better by themselves. They weren't bought in as amazing players. Eriksson was bought for 12 million from Denmark. Son was bought for 20 million. Harry Kane, like I said, Dele Alli was 5 million. Wanyama, if you look through that whole team, I think the most expensive player Poch spent money on, other than Ndombele, I think it was Sanchez for 30 million. I think even Toby Alderweireld was 20 million. So Spurs have bought players in who they don't have the right mentality to want to become better, because they know at the end of it, hey, we'll still get paid. We don't care.
Well, Van der Ven came out on that documentary, Overlap, and he said that he was his friend was a Liverpool fan. That's what he said, but we all know he's a Liverpool fan, isn't it? And he was like, "Oh, why are you signing for Spurs?" But he said he spoke to Ange, and Ange got him like hyped up to say that, "Oh, if you come to Tottenham, you're going to, number one, be playing, and number two, you're going to be winning stuff." Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to be winning trophies. Do you know what I'm saying? And that in itself made him come. And at the time, Van der Ven's mentality wasn't questioned like it is now. You know what I'm saying? So there are players, if the right manager comes along, they do buy into the manager's philosophy and what the manager's trying to achieve. So I'll fast forward on to, obviously, we do have a manager at the moment. We do have De Zerbi, and we have Brighton next. And I know, obviously, the results have happened right now, but does anyone have any ounce of positivity where De Zerbi gets something out of this game, where he goes to his old club, they come to our ground, and he somehow out muscles or outthinks Hustler. Is it Hustler?
You know what?
And then off the back of that, because that's what De Zerbi said, we only need a W. We only need a win.
Thing is, though,
all the team needs is a win to help the mentality. And then
I truly believe that even
after that we play Wolverhampton.
Yeah, I know.
And obviously, our record isn't great at the moment. Yes, but that is that's a game a lot of fans have earmarked to say that we can win. Is there a chance we get any points between those two games, the next two games?
The thing is, those two teams, in fact, all the 6 teams left, could say, right, we're going to play the youth players. We're not going to play football, and we're trying to give you a chance. And Spurs probably still wouldn't win. Spurs would find a way to fuck it up.
Do you know what the worst thing is? Do you know what the worst thing is? If you'd asked West Ham, Leeds, and Forest, which fixtures would you take right now, or would have taken win a game to 30 games? Our last 8 games, bar Chelsea for us, and even if you look at what Chelsea's form is, is probably the fixtures you would have probably gone, those are the ones I want. Those are the ones I want, right? And Sunderland yesterday haven't won at home for 3 games.
Yeah.
Like, you just look at it and go, we've had fixtures. Forest, before they played us, haven't won for how long?
Tottenham has been working overtime all season.
He needs to go on holiday.
I think he's made a deal with his odds.
Seriously. He's earned so much money. He just needs to go on holiday.
I mean, to answer your question quickly, I'm kind of with Oren in that these players have gone, fellas. They've gone. And I actually, not only can I not see us winning another game, I'm not even sure we're going to score another goal for the rest of the season.
The reason why I said that, guys.
There's nothing left.
No, but Ian Bill settings, I get it. But the reason why I asked that is because a lot of fans have said that game, like Deji has gone now and Jaws have gone now. I've heard them on 2 shows. Both of them have said that we didn't play bad on Sunday. They thought we played all right. And some fans also said it was one of our better games. Do you know what I'm saying?
It was, but that's what I'm saying. Our
So-
better games.
So some of the players were coming out saying, you know, obviously it's just training, whatever, PR, whatever. But they came out and were saying they're enjoying their training, enjoying the coaching.
That's even worse.
No. But I hear it, but I'm just saying, it's a new.
It was one of our better
No,
games.
I know, but it's a new manager. Hear me out. It's a new manager, and so could they take that into? No, they could look at it raw as a deflection.
But Ash, honestly, what
Ash,
should
do you believe? No, hold on.
Bro,
Ash, do you believe it?
I believe we're getting
Do you
relegated,
believe it?
but I'm a host and I'm trying to pose a question. Do you
No,
understand?
I know you are.
My
We've,
opinion, I'm putting
yeah, I
out-
know you are.
the
But
host-
we've kind of
You understand?
answered the
Marlon,
question.
do it.
Ash,
We-
But
we-
that's
how
the
you-
whole-
No, it is.
that's the whole- we also have to be honest though as well. You have to be honest. That
Yeah.
team, they are not showing anything.
That's it.
required
That's the biggest problem.
to win a game of football. I said it earlier. They're not showing any.
Some fans are out there that because
They're
I'm
not
trying
showing
to
any character.
We ain't got them on this channel right now or this panel, but there's some fans that believe that we showed something a bit more. As a bit.
Well,
Yes.
they're deluded, Ash. They're deluded.
I can see what those fans are. I can see.
Name and shame them.
Oh,
no, we're not going to work with them.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can see where those fans are saying it, and I can personally, when I saw it, I thought, yes, you could see it. But what the issue is, like I keep saying, as soon as that goal went in, it stopped.
It's done.
That was it. What this team needs to have, they need to score at least 2 goals straight away to keep that confidence up. When they don't do that, and it gets long, because yes, they started off for the first 20 minutes, and then all Sunderland did was we're going to sit back, and then we're going to start playing 1-2s, everything else. But in that second half, like, ask any of those fans who, yes, Spurs played well. After that Sunderland goal went in, did they honestly think Spurs were going to score? I guarantee none of them felt that way. None of them felt.
What you're saying is Spurs need to score the first goal. Is that what you're saying then?
They have to. These players have to. And not
There's
just even one.
goals where Spurs can get the first goal and go on and get a result. That's what I'm asking.
So,
Or is it that Brighton are
they-
going to score first and that's it? There's no world where we can score.
No,
first.
but you have to look at it. If we would have Palace, I believe we would have gone on to probably win that if the Van der Ven doesn't.
To be fair,
do what he
Marlon, that's the game. I'm going back on this season.
That was the game.
That's the game where it's like, you know what, we're doomed. Because you're right, we didn't play great that night, but we got the first goal.
But we were 1-0 up.
We got the first goal, and you're thinking, right, we're gonna go here, and then Van der Ven. There's many ways he could have committed that foul. To commit the foul the way he did,
So probably misses
to
as
give away
well.
the penalty, but to get himself sent off.
That's
It
the
killed
thing. It
It killed us, and I think we've been dead since that game, because that was the game that I think we would have gone on to win it. Honestly, as poor as we've been, that game was
We
won.
were, yeah. We were so poor in that first half.
All
All right,
We were
all right.
1-0.
Let me ask this then. Do you think more fans have our mentality where they think it's done? We're not getting a win. We're not getting a result. And does that affect the parade before we go into the stands?
Well, just to add, I watched Sky Sports News this morning, and Chris Callan was on it.
Yeah.
Now, this is the most positive fan you'll ever come across, even when things are going bad and dire.
Yeah, of course.
He basically told Sherwood and Michael Bridge, done. Can't see a way out of it. So when he's done, everyone else is done. They're just not admit that, and they know we're done. And I think what will happen tomorrow, you'll find every single channel now will be on the same wave because of the Leeds result. Will be like, yeah, because Leeds were our only hope because they were completely off form. They were our only hope, and they just went. We've now got to win 3 games to even catch them. It's done.
All right. So that's what I'm asking. If Brighton, and like, does everyone think so? You think the majority of Spurs fans are going into this thinking we're already gone? So does that
We
affect
need
the
to win
parade?
3 games theoretically. We need to win.
I know,
3.
and it would have to start with Brighton. The Brighton to Wolves to Leeds. That would have to be the games that we have to like earmark as the games we need to get 3 points for. But do we think then the parade doesn't happen, or people are going to go regardless and be like toxic positive?
Well, to be fair, I've already read.
He's
I've already
got-
read that the parade is not happening. I don't know how true that is, but
It's not happening. The
They
players
just-
are going there by car.
yeah, they decided against
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
It's
Are the
not-
players
hope that's
deciding
true.
this? Wait, what?
the
Says
players are
who?
all going to. The players are going to
Yeah,
the stadium
I've
by
heard.
car
How do you know this? Where is it reported?
because it's been reported to somewhere, and I believe that
Who
change
said
for
that?
Spurs will. Yeah, it's been reported all over. It's been reported.
The club have decided against it.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been reading it all after like this evening. It's been everywhere.
See, here's the thing. ENIC is a business. Let's we all know that.
mhm.
Like every business, you got to prepare for the worst. And I think maybe, saying again this tomorrow on, the players that will leave, like Romero, Van de Ven, so on. But if the players that left, it's technically a championship squad already.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they might look at that and go, right, we'll get rid of these players to get them off the books. But the players will have Gray, Bergville, Donzo, Reddy Dragonson, Kingski. They will stay because they want to be part of that getting Spurs back up. Madison will probably stay. Kuleveski, when he comes back, will probably stay if he ever comes back. Solanke has been there, done it before.
Because he's injured right now. Do you think he's able to sell him as an injured player? Or
Who?
Kudos?
No, well, he's not going to be injured when he gets better, for next season in the summertime. But even if he stays, that's
Kudos is one of the names who apparently is looking for the exit door as well.
of course, that's it. They don't want to be.
But I'm just thinking if he's injured, then it'd be harder to sell him off, isn't it?
Yes, I know, but what I'm saying is he's not going to be injured the full
But he
season
doesn't
next
wanna be-
season.
How long is he injured before
Yeah,
that? Has he-
you say that. I don't think if you look at Kudos, yeah, he's had this 3 or 4 month layoff, but he's not in a Kulusevski and Madison where he's injured for a year kind of scenario.
Yeah,
They'll be able to get rid of. They would be able to get rid of him.
I'm just wondering how big is the setback. I'm wondering, like, is it a major setback or is it like?
No, it's just I don't want to be in this fight setback, as West Ham fans told us.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not saying conspiracy thing.
Yeah, he don't want to be. He don't want to be
Like-
in this fight. He knows full well. He's probably got an offer from a club already. His agent's gone. It looks dead and buried. If you go and get injured now, especially with the way this club is,
You think he'll be ready for Ghana World Cup? Is that what you're saying?
of course,
Yeah, 100%.
he'll be there. He will be there.
yeah. And
It's-
We have to face the reality.
Mhm.
Half of that squad have checked out. It's evident, mate.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kulu in the World
They've
Cup.
lined up their deals already with their new clubs, or they've got their agents on the blower 24/7 looking for new clubs. But half of that squad is gone.
Mm.
Yeah, I keep saying it. You're looking at the other teams around us. The difference and in intensity and desire with these clubs compared to ours, it's truly it's a chasm. We are offering nothing. We're offering nothing. A couple of weeks ago, we're literally. I think I may have said it on the show that we're literally relying on West Ham not
Hey.
to win the game.
So what were you saying, Mandem? Were we saying that Van der Ven was faking those tears? Yeah.
And the Oscar nomination goes to. Come on, man.
I think it's I think the Romero tears. Like I think it was
No, not Romero. Van der Ven was crying. I know Romero was doing that. I know
when after the match against
Rubbish.
I know what he was doing.
against who? Where was Van de Ven crying?
He was crying, innit? He was
It
crying.
was a little bit, Lauren. It
When?
was.
When I'm asking. I just against Sunderland.
I didn't see it, so
I
I'm
didn't see
not
I
going
didn't see it.
to say anything. That's what I'm
Oh,
keeping
man, the only
quiet.
one-
There was a lot of crocodile tears and pretend sad faces after the game. Yeah,
I didn't see it. 'Cause
I wasn't interested in all that. The performance, show me some passion, show me some fight on that pitch.
the thing is, though, we're talking about players that, I mean, what can Van de Ven, a defender, do? He can't score goals. He's not a creator.
He can.
Well, he can't. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. He's not in a position. He's trying to do his job, and then I think what's happened this season is a lot of players have been frustrated with other players not stepping up or not being in the same level. And it's just taken over in that aspect. That dressing room, I think, is really well divided. And Kudus, I said it, winter time, he gone. Like when he was signed from West Ham, Spurs from like, oh, I'm like, who? Oh, isn't that the guy he got sent off against Spurs? Why is, and he played well and he did good, but West Ham fans are saying when it comes to a fight, he doesn't do it.
Yeah, we warned, and we took it as sour grapes from the Hammers fans. They warned us. They did.
Yeah.
They warned us.
So what? So what are we saying? Are we Championship? Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Are we coming straight back up, or are we living in Championship for a couple of seasons?
Depends on Wrexham, Millwall.
I think Spurs will,
Southampton.
because to go to the Championship, that will, I know it's weird, but that will bring more eyes to the Championship with Spurs being there.
Yeah, I
And
believe so.
Only if we're losing, if we start winning, no one. Say we're top after November, October, like November, December, and looks like we're going to come back up. No one will care.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's what I'm saying is like, it's fine in that way, but the original interest will be there. Because if Spurs go to the Championship, Enoch sells those players, they can buy the best players from the Championship. Just to
Hold on. This is the same Enoch that could buy players now, and you're asking them to go build a team in the Championship.
But if you look at what Enoch's philosophy is buy players who are good and pay them low wages, which is perfect for the Championship.
Yeah, but they can only do so much.
Yeah, so basically they keep the players
But
that they
I don't
have
think-
and then add a couple.
But the recruitment's been poor for years, and this is why I'm like, okay, we go and buy the best players, but we could probably end up going and buy the 11 best players in the Championship and would still mess it up because we won't buy a team. And that's
You reckon
That's the problem.
we'll get a director of football in the Championship?
yeah. I think not the one we want, but we'll probably get one.
And
I don't think De Zerbi stays. By the way,
is that an issue?
Agreed.
I don't think.
He's neither. I don't know if anybody caught his answer in his presser, but I thought it was very long-winded. For a manager who we were told when he was appointed that he's definitely going to be there if we're relegated. I thought his answer was very long-winded, and I agree.
We need a new manager as well.
He'd be there. I mean, to be honest, as much as we're saying that we're definitely down, I've got to be honest with you. Me personally, I cannot see in my mind's eye or visualize Tottenham in the Championship. I can't think that far ahead in terms of
until it's confirmed. But the problem is that we all said, and I think this is where reality started to hit in. Everyone had said by the time that West Ham and Wolves game is played, we could be in the bottom three, and I couldn't see it. I was like, no. And I think now it's confirmed. I can't see us getting out of it. I've said as soon as we're in it, we won't get out of it. We don't have to play for the fight.
I actually think we can be. I think it may be confirmed. I think by the Chelsea game, to be honest with you.
Do you know what? I'd rather it at this present moment that we go before the Chelsea game.
Yeah,
because that would just be the final nail in the coffin.
I think it's a possibility. And on that note, fellas, I'm gonna have to bid you all good night.
Yep, no worries. And in the stream with us three.
Doom and gloom, but it is what it is. But thanks for having me on.
No worries.
Cheers, Pat.
Yep.
The problem is, with going back to Ash's question about Brighton, quickly, if we were to win it, everyone, us Spurs fans, we will start to think that we're able to get out of this. The problem I've got is that I can't see it.
Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. What it will take is, will those teams, like the likes of Brighton. The thing is, what I've noticed about, like what I've said, is that Leeds, if Spurs are playing Man United will be up for it to beat Spurs because it's a big name. When teams play Leeds or West Ham, they're not up for it. But all those teams that Spurs are going to play, Wolves will go all out to try and beat Tottenham, because
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think right now, if Man United were playing Spurs tonight and Man United played the way they did, They'd probably beat Spurs. They wouldn't have to play well and that's the biggest issue right now.
Yeah.
They don't have to play well to play against Spurs. And I think when it comes to
Teams know that as
Wolves,
well. Teams know that.
yeah, and when it comes to I don't think Wolves will play any better than they have against West Ham and Leeds this weekend. But when it comes to Spurs, the problem is we'll make them look better.
It's the Wolves game
because Sunderland didn't play well yesterday. I will sit there and say they did not play well yesterday, but yet they still beat us. And I think that's what the worrying thing was. If Sunderland would have thrown even Forest did play well for 40 minutes. They didn't play well against us, but they come out with a 3-0 win.
Mm.
This is starting to become a reoccurring issue where these teams are not even playing, they're not even getting themselves up.
Getting their chances.
They're just literally turning up and going, we're going to get chances. We can put it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
It's going to be
scary.
Yeah.
It's so scary at the moment because I'd look this for the first time. I'd love to be wrong, and I'd love there to be a video at the end of the season where a fan makes a video of all of us YouTubers saying how we're going to get relegated and that we're all getting it wrong. But at this present moment, I can't see the light. But I've said it since Fulham. When I went to Fulham, I said this is done. Players are gone, and that was the first time I'd witnessed that.
It's just,
we are favourites to go down at the moment. We're favourites.
Up until this weekend, our form was worse. Our form is now worse than Sheffield Wednesday, I've heard.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
it says it all. Sheffield Wednesday, you can't even buy a win.
This will be like, if Spurs stay up, this will be a greater achievement than winning the European League Cup. Hands down.
I tell you now, it'll be a massive achievement. But we have to basically do exactly what Manchester City have to do to win the league, to stay up.
Yeah.
We have to do exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because technically could be I know everyone says it's out of our hands, but win 4 or 5 games now, we will survive.
Yeah, but it's winning.
And
not even losing. It's not even a case of not winning. Yes, winning is a part of, but it's making sure Spurs don't lose. Get points whatever way they can. Not set up the platform and go, right, for the next time we're not losing.
Yeah, I mean that's our damning, to be fair. 0 wins in 2026. The only team without a win in this calendar year. I think the only team in the English division, in this year.
Mm-hmm. Did Sheffield Wednesday win a game? I can't remember if they did or not. I know they've drawn a few.
Yeah, I think in Europe as well. I think we're one of the bottom teams in Europe as well.
Let me check Sheffield Wednesday.
105 days for definite. 105 days since our last win.
So an absolute
3 months, and then the first time Spurs have been in the bottom 3 since January 2009. We've a 23% win rate this season. The worst form in the league, in the form league, we're 20th. 13 games, winless run, 0 wins, 5 draws and 8 losses. And teams with similar winless runs from January, 14 plus games, all got relegated in this position. The last time we were in the bottom 3, this late, was 93, 94 under Aussie when we secured safety.
Oldham.
Oldham.
And we played Chelsea in that run in, and we were, I think we were 3-2 up or 3-1 up. We ended up losing 4-3 at Stamford Bridge. We missed 2 penalties. Andy Gray, never forget it. I thought we were gone.
Stats are damning. So when you look at it, look at the facts and the stats at the moment, there is no way out, really. There's no team that's done it before. But like Owen was saying, if we were to do it, then it would be an amazing feat because.
Sheffield Wednesday have picked up 5 draws since we beat Crystal Palace.
I mean, you look.
They haven't won a game, but they've picked up 5 draws.
The thing is, you look at those teams, and that's the problem. It's kind of like Spurs are the one who are dealing with the pressure, and that's the issue, because they just try individual things, but yeah.
Forest are the only team that can realistically now save us because of their Europa League run.
Yeah,
but they seem to be managing it at the moment. So,
against Aston Villa, that's what I'm saying. It's just something's
got to give.
Yeah, it has to either lose the next 2 games and that's it. But yeah, something has got to give. It's a state where, I mean, Zerbi's right. Spurs do need to just get a win. Doesn't matter how scruffy it is, just get a win. And maybe Brighton is going to do it. then hopefully he can get a Wolves win, and then we're talking different. But still, it's kind of like the question is, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and West Ham, they can all win games. It would not surprise me if West Ham went and beat Arsenal. It just wouldn't.
I won't lie. If depending on the title race, I'll be cheering on West Ham.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. It's that kind of weird.
Wait, would you, Oren? Oren, would you cheer them on? Would you cheer on West Ham to beat Arsenal?
No,
he wouldn't.
I would cheer on Arsenal because Spurs staying in the Premiership is more important than denying Arsenal a title. Because Arsenal can still win the league, and Spurs will get relegated. I think that one game is not going to work. You know what I mean?
It depends. It depends by then.
Like if it's on a knife edge and Arsenal need to win that game,
Arsenal will win. Yeah, they should. Yeah.
No. I'm saying if Arsenal need to win that game, but West Ham could stop them.
No, definitely Arsenal to win. I'm not one of these, like last season when it was that Spurs wanted Man City to lose or Spurs to lose against Man City. So I thought that was the most embarrassing
2 years ago
as a fan.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I'm like,
mate, Bo, that result was the reason why we won the trophy, though.
Yeah. It is, but
and Ange got I always win stuff in my second season.
Yes, but at the same time, it's like
Spurs.
The thing is, Spurs would have still finished. They could have. I think Spurs would have still finished in the Europa League spot anyway, because Aston Villa.
If we would have won that game, I think we were 2 points behind. If we win that game, we were a point ahead.
Still,
results were even after all the results that we had, because I think we'd lost to like how many games after that? Because it was like we had Newcastle, Arsenal, we lost to everybody apart from was it the two relegated sides, which was Sheffield United and I can't remember who the other team was, and we finished. I'm pretty sure we finished 2 points behind Villa.
Still,
but wouldn't it be so Spurs though if we were to get a result against Brighton and we were to stay up? Like, wouldn't it? Like when everyone thinks we're gonna be relegated, most of the fans giving up all hope.
No, bro, we'll lose to Brighton, and we go to Wolves, win that, and we end up not losing in May. That would be the Spurs thing to do.
Yeah. And
everyone will give up hope next week because everyone's thinking there's that slight home advantage, which there is.
I hope, yeah.
Look, the only thing that's looking in favour with us this year, the only two teams we beat at home this year began with B. So let's make it a third. Brighton.
Burnley as well. Don't they play Burnley at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, or is it away?
No, we've already played. We've beat Burnley at home and Brentford at home. They're the only two victories we've had at home this season.
All right, okay. So, yeah,
we've got to play Leeds. We have to play Leeds our last. No,
and Everton as well.
Having Everton as our last home game could be something. And the reason why I say that is because in 94, was it 94, 95, when we were on that terrible run where we lost nearly every home game. The team that we stopped our rot was Everton at Goodison Park. We beat them before the whole Oldham thing.
It is a question whether these teams look and go, you know what, we finished. We don't want to see Spurs go down. We'll play, but that's the thing. Even if that happened,
Spurs go down.
They can go right here. There's a ball. Play it back. I mean, that's the thing. You look at that. Put that up again, please, Ash. You look at that and you think Spurs have the easiest run.
This is what I said.
I mean, Nottingham Forest, Man United. Well, that's the thing. You know what? I retract that. It's a fucking fucked up season. It's a messed up season. We've seen
the fact that Bournemouth went to them lot at the weekend and produced one of the most shocking results that we could have dreamed of.
The fact that Leeds went to Old Trafford and beat Man United. It's just like
it's from North London team. I don't know.
It's you don't know what the thing is. If I was a football fan, I would be more interested in the relegation battle than the title because you don't know what's going to happen. Man City, Arsenal, that's happened before. we all seen it, right?
Do you know what? That's quite. It's actually you
know what I mean?
That's quite.
That's happened before, but this is a new thing. We've never seen this before. 3 teams are battling out. We don't know which one's going to come through, and I do think the European League Cup will play a big part. Leeds are still in the FA Cup as well against Chelsea, and the way they're playing, they might get no go. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking that will certain clubs go right? We have nothing else to play for. We're safe.
If Leeds lose that game, that Chelsea game moves as well, which is going to be massive.
Yeah. So will if Leeds get safe and Nottingham Forest get safe, will they slack off a little bit? So, but yeah, I think
every team in that relegation battle doesn't slack off until they're mathematically safe.
Yeah.
Leeds, I think for Leeds in their head, they'll look at it now and go, okay, we're 6 points away from Spurs. Spurs need to at least win a minimum of 3 to even go past us. Yeah. They're probably in their head now thinking we just need one more win.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, and if anything, they might even save themselves when they come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because they're thinking, actually, that's the one game
that's the big game. Leeds, Spurs, Leeds, sorry.
Does Leeds have to play West Ham as well?
Yeah.
So they could beat West Ham.
This is the other issue you've got because they've all got to play each other as well, and
they just went, right, lads, get a fucking draw.
Forest theoretically have a harder running.
That's mad. Say that again. What? So what? They could play each other, and they could say, "Look, just get a draw and send Spurs down."
Yeah,
get a draw.
It's happened before.
Where's the kickoff? Are they the same time, or are they? It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, bring the fixtures up because it'll show you on there when they play each other. Yeah. Is it the last game?
It might be, Hold on.
I think it's the last game. So there could be a situation. Yeah, there you go. It's the last game of the season.
Last game of the season. So it could be. Let's first play for a draw.
Oh my days! Can you imagine if it gets to the last game of the season,
bro?
That is nasty.
You would not be surprised. Do you know what though? It'd be so funny if West Ham end up beating Leeds and it's them who confirm our survival. They would literally rip down the London Stadium.
That's the thing.
There would be. You think people would be like calling it like, "Oh, hey, let them go."
Sure, but who was it in the World Cup? Wasn't it Denmark versus someone when they just played for a draw and they just simply played the ball back and forth between the fence? Because I think they're both qualified if they drew. And they just didn't attack each other at all. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying it's like
it's a hypothetical.
Hypothetical. But I think what I do think the biggest thing will be Leeds in the FA Cup and Nottingham Forest in the Europa League Cup.
Well, I mean, all right. Like, what would you think would be more interesting? Like, would you think it'd be more interesting if Spurs, lost against Brighton, had all hope gone, won against Wolves, and then there was still a little bit of hope? Or do you think it'd be better that Spurs won against Brighton and then fans got excited and then it got to the last game of the season and then it kind of fell off, or the last game of the season and we won it and we stayed up? What do you think would be more of a knife edge?
I think for every Spurs fan, every single game is a knife edge. Every single game.
I think what's disappointing yesterday is that we didn't get battered. The fact it was 1-0 and it was by a deflected goal was a killer.
Yeah. That took, because those fans were right. Spurs didn't play, as well, but that they just seemed to. When that deflected goal went in, it was kind of like, for fuck's sake, can anything else go? Then Romero comes off injured. You know what I mean? And it's like, can anything else? We've had it. What next? Van der Ven pulls his hamstring next game.
One thing I worry about though,
cool. Thank you.
Outside of the injuries, I think defensively, we didn't look bad against Sunderland, but that's one thing De Zerbi's not really known for, out of possession play, being structurally hard to beat. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
The passes weren't that bad in the first half yesterday. They were actually making 5-yard passes. When we actually got on the ball, it seemed okay, and that's why I'm fuming with Solanke and Richarlison, and then Richarlison twice, where has tamed shots at the goalkeeper. You're not even making the goalkeeper work. like De Zerbi went, okay, and this is what people I think forget. He went for 3 strikers. So he had to play the stiff midfield that he didn't. Well, he tried to play that flat midfield because he went for 3 strikers. If he'd gone for the wingers, that's when I think he will against Brighton.
But that's the thing. Tell is not a winger. Tell comes on and he does exactly what he does. He runs down the side of the pitch and wants to do everything himself, and that's the issue. And
he's the best cross of the ball in our team. Though.
Who?
Tell.
No, he hardly ever crosses.
Who's the best crosser?
Pearl.
Who's our best crosser on the wing?
Consistently, or when he can put a cross in? Because there's a difference now. Because Porro is probably our best crosser in the whole team, but consistently, when he took the shot and then he goes, takes the corner, comes back to him, and then he does exactly that bit where he just flies it over the bar. That is Porro, full stop.
Again, it's what I've noticed as well. It's like Callum Mwani was.
So who's our best crosser then?
Porro.
We're talking about if we're going to go for a wing system. I'm just trying to figure out.
Porro is our best. Well, at the players we've got right now that are available, Porro is the best crosser, even with how crappy he is consistently. We're doing it. When was the last time Tell put in a good cross?
Say against was it PSG or whoever? But that's it. But Tell's not Tell. I've said this all season.
I don't think he's good at decision making in terms of when to cross, but I think
that's the point.
All the players in our front line, like he actually does cross the ball, like out of the front line.
Yeah, he crosses it, but it never goes to a player.
No,
it goes off, it goes wide, it goes over. Like yesterday, he put 2 crosses in, and they completely went. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, yesterday, but I'm just talking about in general.
No, this is in general. Tell puts the ball in the box.
He doesn't cross. Richarlison doesn't cross. That's what I'm saying.
But Tell doesn't cross.
Players, he's probably the one that maybe.
So Tell always. So Tell doesn't obviously cross it on his left foot because he's obviously not. But he always cuts back, and then he never. Whenever he tries to cross the ball in, it either goes to.
It was against Atletico. That's what it was when Moana scored.
And the thing is,
it was on the right hand side, but they would play Toe on the left. So
but that's one out of. Like again, it's Porro's.
I'm just saying, one out of how many players in our team who actually crosses the ball, bro? That's
so no one. Yeah, but basically no one.
So then, like what Warren's saying, who was saying, I can't remember. Wingers, do we actually have any? Do you know what I'm saying? Is there any point? So was he right to play Slanky? I mean, Richarlison on the out wide then?
Well, that's the thing, yes, because Richarlison out wide, we've all said it that he's good at playing on the left. Richarlison, though,
he had 2 chances. So it's not like he didn't have a chance. He had 2 chances.
So this Tell would be better in that position.
No. Tell showed us he hasn't done well.
Everyone's complaining about obviously.
But remember I said at the beginning of the season or halfway during the season, and everyone was going, Solanke this, Solanke that, Solanke we miss him and this, that, and the other. We'll be back when Solanke comes back. Solanke comes back, we're not doing any about. It's players always seem to do well at Tottenham when they're not playing. Their reputations for some reason goes completely up when they're not playing. And I got what you said earlier about not you, was it about Maddison and Kulusevski? But I genuinely believe Maddison would have made a big difference to Thomas Frank. I genuinely do believe that. But when it comes down to it, I think everyone forgets how bad Kulu was sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, right? And George said it with Maddison. A lot of us complained about Maddison, but Maddison does open. Like he used to open a lot. Like even when he was having a bad game, he used to open a lot for us, and we missed that. He's that talisman. Like, and we had Son last year, so we like in certain games, Son would still appear. You just put Son on the ball, and he'd create that magic.
On a goal.
Yeah, we don't have that. None of them.
Yeah,
like, players in this club, in this team, get a reputation for when they're not playing. Xavi's doing it right now. Xavi's getting this brilliant reputation for something he's never produced in a Spurs shirt this season in the Premier League.
That's the thing is, so when Xavi came on, he did show why he's number 10. I know I'm not saying he did anything. Again, Sunderland was sitting back and stuff, but he was getting the ball threaded through. Was he? Yeah, he did a couple of passes through the. But then when you have no runners, when you have no people running front for you.
Yeah, but this comes back to the whole Conor Gallagher Xavi argument. They're only good players in a functional system.
Yes, of course, yeah. But you would say that any player.
No, because there's certain players that wouldn't
Only the
be.
great players, like the top elite players. Like
no, but the reason why I say it is because Atletico, like great Gallagher in his first year at Atletico, the first few months was okay because they were a functioning system.
Yes,
and he got found out like Kieran Trippier did because over a longevity of time, they're actually not that great. With Chelsea, everything was kind of based around Conor Gallagher with Pochettino. Hence the reason why everyone thought Pochettino was coming back. But for me, I remember me and Ash used to argue about Gallagher because I would say sideways, right? Nothing was forward. He wasn't that great in those positions.
I was not a Gallagher fan. I was not.
You tried to prove me wrong.
I was not. Gallagher,
I just go find the stream.
Find the stream because I've always said in that defense, he's like Declan Rice for me. Declan Rice in that defensive, and people argue about Declan Rice. No, he's he's an English player. Like technically, in that when you're trying to progress the ball in that defensive third or that middle third, they can't do it. They're runners. They can run like. And I probably said as a number 10 or as a box crasher, Gallagher works. But sometimes what I was saying when I looked at him, he would try the Hollywood pass and it wouldn't always work or wouldn't always come off. That's the thing about Gallagher. But in terms of like what we need, I find the video, bro. I'll be intrigued as well.
yeah, I mean, the thing
go back about 3 years.
Yeah. The thing is, Conor Gallagher was like, but like I've said it before, it's very difficult to judge him because he's coming to a dysfunctional team. If Xavi and Conor Gallagher performs well in a functional team, then it's very difficult to. No, it's easy to criticize them when they're not in a functional team, and that's the big issue. They're not. Like I said, personally, for me yesterday, if I had to pick one player who I didn't think worked, was Bergville. Did nothing.
Can I ask a question? Does anybody miss Timo Werner right now?
No, I still don't.
No. You know what?
He'd be doing wonders in this team if he's assists.
Like what you said, when you miss them when they're no longer here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't miss Werner. And we'll probably be saying the same thing about Moani when he's gone. You know what I'm saying?
No, Moani's just.
Well, bro, this is the attitude when we had Werner. People hated him when he was here.
Still do. No, he's just joking. Werner he had no confidence. Absolutely none.
But if you had to pick between Moani or Werner right now, you're probably, being honest, probably going for Werner, isn't it?
None.
The thing is, what I'm seeing is like when these players have to do, when these players have to do individual stuff.
A knife and a gun.
Yeah.
You prefer to be stabbed to death or shot? You prefer to be shot quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? But like you said, man, right now, there's no evidence of us getting this together, man. I'll be honest with you, man. It's real dark right now. And that's all it is, man.
Yeah.
Got nothing more to say, nothing less to say, bro.
And again, things change. If Spurs get 2 wins back to back, they're out of the. Nah, even it doesn't, because we're probably still saying they're going to go down. But hey,
no, you got to hope that West Ham and Forest. If we win 2 wins and Forest and West Ham don't pick up points, then yeah, we're back. We've brought Leeds back into it. But you got hoping that Leeds don't get a result this weekend.
They beat United.
It's like Marlon was always saying. Marlon was like saying, "We're not winning at home."
I said this then after the weekend.
Especially against Brighton, he said, "Nope, Brighton, it's not happening."
It was the away games. Where's Bentancur, by the way?
It's like what you were saying, that conspiracy-wise, that a lot of these players, they don't want to come back. So they're saying, "No, I'm injured, I'm out." Apparently, though, Bentancur has been training with the first team, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say he should be back by now.
Yeah, that's what.
What's he going to do?
To be honest, people won't like this, but I just want to see Bentancur and Paulinho back in that middle. I know they had a few off games, especially Arsenal away, but I don't care.
Who's your midfield then? What's your midfield 3? Bentancur, Paulinho, and who?
You're gonna have to play Xavi in there or Gallagher. We one of the 2.
I'd play Xavi. If you go for Bentancur and Paulinho, But then again, I wouldn't even go for Bentancur.
I bring in Vieira to get Conor Gallagher as that number 10 again to come coach him because he did have Gallagher playing well as a number 10. Vieira did.
Rough. It's rough. That's just rough. I don't know what to say.
Bergvall's not a number 10.
I don't think Bergvall's even a football player.
Archie Gray.
Archie Gray's not number 10. Was your guy.
Who?
I thought Bergvall was your guy.
No, he's not at number 10, and I don't think he's up for the. He's not a player that should be fighting for relegation. No way.
No, I get what you mean. I do get what you mean, but
he's not. He's just. He doesn't have the common sense or the awareness. Like the amount of times Callum Awani got the ball and Bergvall, Xavi would have stayed in his position, hold his position. Bergvall decided he was going to run and cover, go to the wing. So when Callum Awani hit the ball to him, he had it to no one. Whereas
you can
definitely stayed.
You can tell Bergvall's not been a player who's played at the top level for very long.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. But you can tell by the decisions that he makes, and this is sometimes what happens when you buy young raw talent from. It's like Odebear, it's like Gray.
That's on Levy, man. I have to say, sorry, that's on Levy.
Yeah, but apparently, Levy. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Levy can only take half the blame.
Yeah, because it's not his.
Because apparently he has always tried to get Lewis to, but they saw how much money that Levy had made. And loving it, and apparently that's what Vivian wanted. She wants the money. She saw the money. Hence the reason why she got rid of. She saw the money. She wants to sell. I think they really want to sell, but right now I think what they're trying to do. Well, they can't get relegated now, so they have to keep it.
So that man put the wage bill down on purpose to sell the club. Is basically what you're saying. Okay, cool. I was just trying to work that out.
Yeah. I've always said it. That Enoch and the board, I've always said it. Enoch, I'm not saying Daniel Levy isn't at fault, but I do believe that if the way I've worded it is basically if I'm Joe Lewis and Marlon or Ash, you're the manager or you're the chairman, you're the face of the organization. You come to me at the start of the season and I say, right, I will give you this amount of money if Spurs achieve this. You go away, you get the manager, Spurs achieve it, and then you come back to me, and then I look at you and go, well, you achieved it without buying players. Do you really need more money? I'll give you half of what I've said. So then Levy has to go and work with what he's got. Because, like I said before, when Daniel Levy got sacked, a lot of fans were jumping up for joy, and rightfully so. But I said, wait till January transfer window. That's the biggest test. Who are Spurs going to go for, and who did Spurs buy? If you look at the last Johnny transfer on Ange, Donzo, Kingsley, Roddy Dragusin all came in that Johnny transfer window. They all played a part.
Wait.
No, well, I'm just saying.
But we signed Conor Gallagher and Sousa in this window. We needed players back then as well. Kinski came in on the first day, and Dragusin and Finn came so late in the window, it was over.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying,
so it was this January window and last January window exactly the same.
Yeah, I get that, but
and that was with Levy or without him. So
yeah,
it's part of Enoch. Yes, part of Levy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's basically, because Angie said in his interview with whatever that's called, he said he wanted to get Mark Gahey and stuff after Spurs finished 5th, but he was told nope. And I think that's the board. Nope, you're not going to get him. Why? Because we have to spend this amount of money. We got to do this wages. We can't take the risk. So we're going to buy this player instead.
He wanted Conor Gallagher and Mark Gahey, and there was one more, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think Levy went, I'll do my best, goes and talks to the board. The board says, nah.
Oh, Neto, that's right. Yeah.
Neto, and the board says, nah. But they're right there. Nah. You can get less players for that. And it's almost like another way of putting it. It's almost like, how much is that player going to cost? 50? Try and get it down a little bit, can you?
It's really funny because they don't ever scrimp or save on a manager.
That's the thing.
It tells you there's still old-fashioned thinking. It's like the David Moyes at Everton system. It was no one is paid more than the manager. The manager's doing most of the work, so he gets paid. He's the brains. Football's changed since then massively, and I'd probably sit there and say Haaland's probably getting paid more than Pep.
Mhm.
Just to throw it out there, just in the central scheme of things.
Because players are and that's I think what Spurs the Enoch mentality has been. It's we will get the manager in, and the manager will then be the ones who make the players better. That's why they got really lucky with Poch, because that's what Poch technically did. Poch was brilliant for Enoch. They bought in young, Poch got rid of the high wage players at the time, whoever they were, and then he bought in Ericsson, and they go, right, make them better. That's your job, make them better. And then Poch did make them better. And then they go, well, you've made these players that we bought for cheap better. We're going to keep buying cheap players, and you're going to make them better.
No, so with that, I kind of agree with you, but kind of don't.
Mm-hmm.
Poch achieved everything way too early.
Of course.
The stadium move was we were 2 or 3 years ahead of where they wanted to be. While we were doing the stadium move, they wanted to be that last season at White Hart Lane was meant to be first year at the new stadium, so they could go out and then finish second, go and then build on that team. But we ended up getting Mourinho, and the rest is history. But on that note,
let's end this.
Yeah, not end Tottenham Hotspur, but let's end this. I don't know what we're going to do about a rival show next year if you go down, Ash.
No rival.
Nah, you make it a rival show. You take charge. You get Preston fans on, Millwall fans on, whoever.
What's it? But yeah, cool.
You get these.
Make sure you guys are liking it, you're sharing. Thanks for staying up for so late, or if you're on watching it on a playback, big yourselves up. If you're listening to us on Spotify as well, please do feel free to leave any comments. And as I said before, Wednesday we go again. There's a lot of talk to be had. Man United, obviously they lost today.
You ain't seen any Arsenal fan on Wednesday, bro.
Arsenal fans, we never know, man. They might win the Champions League game, so they might.
Want to see if Stefan comes out with another 10 excuses to why they lost.
We'll see. We'll see. But yes, Wednesday rivals again. So guys, please make sure you look out for that. But make sure you hit the like button before you leave the show. The likes do help us a lot, man. Big up.
Yeah, big up. Just 1 second. I just wanted to check something. We are crap now. Yep, we're still 300 away from that 5,000, and that's our aim. So please make sure you like, subscribe. I don't think we have anything coming out this week at all. I think it's going to be a slow week, but hopefully Spurs pull it out on Saturday. But yeah, please make sure. Big thanks to George from Do-Rag Diaries. Big thanks to Deji Spurs as well for coming on, and he's a Deji Spurs, and also a big thanks to Pipes from PRTV. Is it? It is PRTV. He's on for coming on as well. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. You've been, as always, brilliant as usual. We haven't been able to keep up, and a big thank you to Spurs 5 as well for the raid about half an hour in. But as I said, please like, subscribe, and comment, and hopefully Spurs will still be a Premier League club by end of May.
Yes.
Over and out.
Manners.